Buenos dias, listeners. Buenos dias, because I'm in Mallorca. I'm in Mallorca, Spain right now. Well, I'm really not. I'm in Venice Beach, and I'm pre-recording this episode so I can enjoy 2 weeks of vacation without doing a podcast. I don't know if I've ever done that. I've been doing this for 13 years. I think I've taken off a week here and there, rarely, but never 2. So I'm kind of looking forward to just vegging out, reading books, hanging out on the beach. So by the time you're hearing this, I'll be in Mallorca, Spain, and have just left Ireland, having hopefully not drunk, but I can't imagine that it was not a possibility. Haven't had a drink in 30 years, but I'm surrounded by my family, and they're all going to be drinking hard. All of them, except for me. I'll be the one sober person out of 10 of us. That's fine. I'll be fine. I just, I'm thinking about Ireland a lot this week, getting ready for the trip. I just emailed my buddy Tio, spelled T-H-E-O, but pronounced Tio in Ireland. Good man. One of my dear friends who I haven't seen in many years. And I see him every time I go to Ireland, but I don't know if I will this time because we're only in Galway and I think he's down in County Cork, which is a ways, but who knows? Maybe he'll make the trip up to Galway. I just have a great, I talked a little bit last week about being in Ireland when I was 18, and I was friends with Tio's cousin. These were some guys that lived in Tarrytown, who their father owned an Irish bar in town, and they were good, tough Irish kids. And they hooked me up with Tio when I got to Cork City. And I don't know that he was anxious to meet a couple of American guys who were a couple years younger than him. But after one night, we kind of fell in thick as thieves and drank together. We ended up staying in Cork for a couple weeks, hung out with him every night, got to know all his friends. Great bunch of insane dudes. Like, we thought we were crazy in New York. These guys are nuts. And so he ended up leaving school. He was going to college, and I think he took a week off or 2 weeks off from classes, and we hitchhiked up the coast of Ireland together. Me, him, and Sneaky Pete. And we had a lot of adventures. I remember one night we were out. I used to break dance when I was a high school kid. And so we went to this, they called them discos in Ireland, and you'd be like in a small town, and they'd have a little dance hall. They'd have like a small dance hall, and they called it a disco. And this was 1984, and I was breakdancing in these dance halls, and we would meet girls. So we went back to these girls' houses one time, their apartment, their flat. And then I don't remember what happened. I just remember we got chased out. I think Theo might have been fooling around with one of them and fell asleep, and she got mad. I forget what happened. I just remember we left in a hurry. And then there was some guys in the street that saw us, and they were chasing us. And we got back to, we were staying in a bed and breakfast, and we got in very late. And we woke up this old Irish lady with no teeth who wore a bathrobe all day. And we woke her up. And so she threw us out the next morning. And she said we could have our breakfast, but we were to remove ourselves from the bed and breakfast. And so while we were all hungover, and I remember she had her flannel panties drying on the radiator in the kitchen where we were eating our Irish breakfast. And so Tio took an Irish sausage and he stuck it in the crotch of the panties on the radiator. And then I just remember standing in front of her house hitchhiking, and we had a pint of milk from the market, and I drank half of it. And then a car finally pulled over to pick us up, and I started vomiting on the side of the road, and they just kept going. And it was very hard to get a ride. Two men trying to hitchhike is never a good combination. And then I went back years later when I was in college with my girlfriend at the time, Cindy. And Tio had a job, and he left his job, and he hitchhiked with me and Cindy around Ireland a ways. And then years later, I went back again, and this time we met up with my friend Lisa. I was with my family, and Lisa was a good friend of mine from Los Angeles who happened to be in Ireland at the same time. So we had a big dinner with my family and Lisa, and then Tio came, and then they kind of fell for each other, like immediately. And he ended up flying out to LA to supposedly stay with me. Never stayed with me. Went straight from the airport to her house. And then I forget, they had like a little romance for a while. And then they broke up, and now he's I don't know if I think he's married. Is he still married? I forget what his current status is. I think he's divorced. Anyway, he'll update me. I'm hoping to see him on this trip. I don't know if I will, but hopefully I will. Anyway, that's all behind us. Let's look to the future. The future is I'm coming to see you, America. Escondido in September 22nd and 23rd. Shirley, Mass, October 5th. Manchester, New Hampshire, October 6th. Nashua, New Hampshire, October 7th. Sacramento, October 12th through 14th. Arlington, October 20th and 21st. Baltimore, October 22nd. Houston, November 2nd and 3rd. Bakersfield, November 11th, San Francisco, November 30th through December 2nd. All these dates are available for ticketing at Fitzdog.com. Also, this podcast is brought to you by the fine folks at BetterHelp. Oh, we love BetterHelp because we all need some mental support sometimes. We are all faced with tough choices. It's not always clear what to do. And so what we need to do is reinforce our confidence and make sure that you're getting rid of your ego. The ego will destroy you. It'll destroy your values. You got to get in touch with who you are. And I've had some luck, a lot of luck with BetterHelp over the years. I had a therapist for a couple years that was very good from them. And I liked her right out of the gate. If I did not, however, BetterHelp will let you switch. You can switch therapists. But first you do an intake questionnaire, and they basically pair you up with somebody whose expertise matches what your needs are. Maybe you want to do cognitive behavioral therapy. Maybe you want to do dialectical behavioral therapy. There's many choices out there. Maybe you've got trauma. Whatever it is, they'll pair you up with somebody that's appropriate. It's easier. It's convenient and flexible. You can work it around your schedule. These are licensed therapists, and it's cheaper than in-person therapy. So whatever's going on with your life, I think it's time to give BetterHelp a try. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Fitzdog today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Fitzdog. Also, let's talk about buying tickets to events, how stressful that can be, how it can almost ruin the event because you're so worried, did I buy them too early? Am I waiting too long? With Game Time, what you're going to do is you're going to wait. You're going to wait, baby. And then when it gets closer to the event, they have these last-minute deals, flash deals, whether we're talking about concerts. It's the summer. Go see a concert, especially outside. Go see some comedy inside. Go see a sporting event. There's tons of great sporting events going on right now. If you want to, the Game Time app is a piece of cake. I'm just looking at it right now. It's so easy to use, and with a couple of taps, you got those tickets right into your phone. You don't have to print nothing. You don't have to transfer nothing. It's just right in there. And so here you go. Oh, my God. Look at this. Look at this. I can go see the Dodgers. I know I keep talking about this, but these are the Dodgers not doing well this year? They are giving tickets away. $9. How is that possible? Anyway, go find out where they'll tell you what's going on in your area. It's a good way to use Game Time, is it just shows you what's going on tonight, this week, and they've got all kinds of deals. And you can also look at the tickets from the view of the seats themselves. There's a guarantee. If you find the same tickets in the same row and section on the same night for less, they will refund you 110% of that price. That's a pretty sweet deal. So, Game Time. Do it. We love it. Snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code Fitzdog for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code Fitzdog for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Okay. Here we go. My guest today, assuming she shows up tomorrow, because I'm doing the intro now, and she's supposed to be here tomorrow. God, I hope she makes it. You know her from MTV's Girl Code. She was pretty big on that for the first few seasons. She was on that MTV show. She's been on Rogan a bunch of times. She was on Last Call with Carson Daly. She was a regular on Chelsea Lately, VH1, Comedy Central at Midnight, True TV, David Spade's Lights Out. Bunch of shit. She's been around, and she's a really strong stand-up. She's an awesomely cool person, and she's got a big online presence. You should follow her. She always does funny social media stuff. She does a live Instagram and Facebook live show called Weeds Day. Anyway, from Syracuse, New York, my Italian friend, who will be... we'll plug her dates. Should we plug her dates when she's on? Yeah, let's do it when she's on the show. But here she is, Jessimae Peluso. Jessimae Peluso, you guinea fucking...
I am a guinea.
You're a guinea.
Yeah, I just got back from Italy.
I know. Mm-hmm. What was it like?
I was frustrated because when I went there and came back, I realized that flavor is gone.
Oh, yeah.
I just discussed this, and I don't know if you've experienced this because you travel a lot. You're about to go away. I don't know if it's a mixture of us getting older or whatever it is, but the flavor was shocking.
Because it's not genetically modified.
Yeah, I know. It's really frustrating. So that was frustrating to come back and realize,
Wait, so which flavors in particular? Like,
just like fruit and produce.
Right.
I think mainly produce, because produce is kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
Like, vegetables are kind of gross, let's be real.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to eat, like, a raw carrot.
No.
Just chewing it alone is frustrating.
Yes.
Like, chewing a carrot takes forever.
You feel like an asshole.
You feel like an asshole.
You can't eat a carrot in front of somebody.
No, you
look
can't.
like a rabbit.
Or any vegetable, for that matter.
Well, I enjoy an avocado. I feel kind of cool when I'm eating an avocado.
You do?
Well, because it's like, it's good for you, it tastes good, and you scoop it out,
Yeah,
you get
soft.
the little fucking pit, you hit it with the knife, you twist it.
I do love to hit the pit.
Yes.
You hit the pit, and then I don't know about you, but I hit it on the edge of my trash can, and then the pit flies in the right.
I do that too!
We're chefs. I'm like, I should be in a kitchen.
Yes. Have you ever worked in a kitchen? I was a chef.
No.
Not a chef, I was a cook at TGI Fridays.
Is that really, I was going to say, is that a chef?
No, that's a cook.
That's definitely a cook.
There was one chef. One guy got to call himself chef. Everybody else called himself a cook.
And let me tell you, that guy's still there.
And he's an alcoholic.
Is he? Of course he is. You can't be a sober chef.
Chefs
at
are the
TGI
biggest
Fridays.
drugs. Yeah. And they hate the service because they got all the, what do they call it, flair?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The buttons?
Yeah. Did you ever see, what was that movie, Waiting?
Yeah, no, Office Space.
Oh, Office Space,
Wait,
too.
was it Jennifer Aniston?
Well, Office Space had that, I think, was Office Space with Jennifer Aniston, or was it Waiting?
I don't
Waiting
remember.
kind of had, they both had that that sort of environment.
Right.
They displayed that environment.
Right.
But yeah, that was, I guess I just feel deprived here.
Yeah.
In America. But I don't like when people talk crap about our country. Like, I'm going to move.
Right.
Well, go. Go and find whatever you think is better in another country. And that's not to say there aren't beautiful countries with benefits that we don't have and aspects of life that we don't have, quality of life. But as a woman, I don't know where I could go that I would feel as safe.
Canada.
I guess
is the
Canada.
only place.
But then Canada's having some hot stuff happening. I think there's
going
always
on in Canada?
There's like always a
with
bear
the indigenous
loose.
people. Oh yeah.
The indigenous people. No, the bears.
Fuck the indigenous people.
Didn't we too?
Well, fuck yeah.
Well, it's different in Canada.
I think it was actually, well, it can't be worse. There's nothing worse than what we did to
There's
the
nothing worse than what we continue to do.
Yes.
Again, it's not perfect here.
But wait, I want to go back to the food in Italy because I've been to Italy and I notice it. Even the pasta, they say the pasta, they use a different type of wheat. So you don't get the crash there after a bowl of pasta. Like, did you notice that?
Yeah, I felt...
Not as tired?
I felt energetic. I felt light. I know there's the travel brain and the endorphins and different types of serotonin that's flopping around in your mind and your body because you're excited to be on vacation. But there is like a physiological effect to eating better.
Right.
So it's hard to differentiate between is this just travel excitement or is it healthier food? But we know it's healthier food.
Yeah, it's healthier food, and I think that our brains respond to new experiences. And when you're home, God damn it, during the pandemic, we all got locked into fucking watching TV, smoking pot, doing puzzles, talking about the same thing over and over again because depressing. What else are you going to talk about? And then when it ended, we all had to somehow snap back into like, hey, let's fucking play beach volleyball and go to a concert.
Yeah, just out of nowhere.
And some people didn't come back.
No, a lot of people didn't come back. And while I was in Italy, I thought to myself, just observing the culture and observing the people, what makes Italians stressed? Because I know there's obviously people living in squalor, and there's obviously, discrimination, and there's...
Oh, the women get treated like shit.
Women get treated like shit, but what depresses the culture? Because in America, we have evident reasons why.
Yeah.
In our drug usage and our mental health, all of that. But I just was looking at the Italian people like, what gets you guys stressed?
Are you saying they're not as stressed as us? Yeah.
No, they're just not.
Part of it is I think they get it out. If there's something upsets them, they go, hey, and it gets out. We push it down. We're passive aggressive. We're so afraid, especially in LA. Oh. So, like last night, I said something to somebody, and I was busting their balls. They made a joke outside the Comedy Store, and I said a joke, and they didn't laugh. I go, what? I go, you can't make a fucking joke at a comedy club? And everybody got serious. And they kind of people walked away, and I was like, in New York, they would have busted my balls back.
Yeah, there's no ball busting anymore. You can't bust balls anymore. It's not. It's a thing of yesterday.
Yes.
It's really interesting. Everyone's so sensitive.
Yes.
And it's kind of frustrating. And
all right, let's bust each other's balls.
Okay.
Nice fucking key. What is that for the chastity belt you wore when you were 7 before you lost your...
It's to open up the cabinet where you keep all your wigs.
See? I'm not mad. That is kind of fucked up, though. That's pretty fucked up. You went right for it. Right for it.
I had to go for the...
I could have talked about your fucking ink on your arms and make you look like a heroin addict.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of something.
Now, which one are you getting rid of today?
Probably all.
No.
Yeah, I'm 40, and I had this thought thinking about successful women, or women who I consider successful. Yeah. Just women who I consider sort of like the pinnacle.
Chelsea Handler.
Yeah, the pinnacle of femininity.
Yeah.
And all the women that I thought of that I have always looked up to or was inspired by or admired their career and how they carried themselves, whether they're in entertainment or a different industry, none of them have tattoos that you can see. And
Angelina Jolie?
She wasn't on my list.
Okay. Who's on your list?
She's not on the list, but she wasn't like up there.
Who's on the list?
Well, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
For one, I think she's had a very immaculate career.
Yeah.
Even in and out of press, and I admire her. I admire her.
And well liked.
And well
Good
liked.
Social life.
Right, and not a lot.
Never got
no
the marriage
scams.
thing down.
That's a whole other conversation.
Okay. Right. All right. Who else?
This is very, very like cliche. Oprah.
Yeah.
No tattoos.
No tattoos.
And comes from a very tumultuous childhood.
Sure, she could have tattoos about child abuse.
Right. She could have a whole sleeve.
Yeah.
And we'd understand.
Right.
She doesn't.
I do feel bad for black people when they get tattoos because
If the pigment is different.
It doesn't pop.
It's much more difficult to have a tattoo. Definitely.
Right.
Oh, it's not hard for us.
No, we're especially pasty people.
Pasty people, it shows right up.
Right.
And obviously they come from a different generation, but so much has changed for me that... Are you dying? Are you okay? Oh, God. Is it an avocado stuck in your throat?
It's an avocado pit. I didn't fully...
Are you okay? Please don't die on your own podcast.
That would be... you, and I know you. You would stop you keep the camera going until I was dead. Then you would take out the SD cards.
Yes.
You'd bring it to your studio.
Yes.
Rebrand it as Weeds Day or whatever fucking bullshit podcast you do.
Not wrong.
It would be your highest rated podcast.
Absolutely. And I would make money off it and not give it to any of your kids. Or your wife that you love so much.
Wow.
They would starve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would keep the cameras rolling.
How come you've never been to my house for dinner?
I haven't been friggin' invited. I think your wife and I would get along very well.
I think my daughter and you would get along really well.
Yeah?
Well, age-wise, you're right in between us.
How old are you guys?
57, and my daughter's 20.
Oh my gosh.
So you're right in between us.
Yeah, I probably would be able to alleviate a lot of the familial issues.
We don't have familial issues.
At all.
Not really.
What's is there a reoccurring issue? Is there something that comes up and you're like, I have to accept that this is never going to change?
No, because my daughter was kind of stuck for a while. The high school wasn't great for her, and then she didn't really launch into college, and she got very antisocial. And a lot of that had to do with the pandemic. We've already talked about that. And then in this past year, she has blossomed.
That's good.
She is at a fucking 10 right now with it, and it just made me love her. I didn't think I could love her more, and then I saw her go through hardship and then work her way through it, and that was really profound.
Yeah, it's also a testament to you guys as parents.
I think my wife mostly, she's a really good parent.
But you have to support her so she can support your daughter. There's it's like the muscles in your body, it's all interconnected.
Right.
A family unit.
Right.
I forget what the original question was.
You were naming the women that are non-tattooed that you want to be like.
How'd we get to your family?
Oh, no, how come you're not coming to dinner?
Yeah.
We're going away. We're going to Ireland tomorrow for 2 weeks. We're going to Ireland and Spain. When we get back, end of August is wide open. Okay. I know you're always away. You're very hard to pin down. Can I say that?
You can say it. You
for
can
the sake of the podcast. I mean,
you're screaming it.
You travel a lot, and it seems like a lot of it's at the last minute, almost like you're on the run, or the lamb, as they say. You just disappear to foreign countries. You have affairs with men in foreign countries.
That's not true. That part's not true.
What are you talking about? What about that Greek guy?
We don't do affairs in foreign countries. But I will say, I do plan things. I don't send you my calendar, but I'll start sending you my travel calendar.
But then it changes.
It does change a lot. But Italy was almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That was a long...
Who'd you travel with?
My cousins.
Nice.
Yeah, all my Italians.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and one of my cousins is this big, tall, black man, and it's interesting to watch that dynamic.
Yeah.
It's just interesting to see and witness how people treat black people.
In Italy.
In Italy and anywhere. But just, you hear comments, you see looks, and you're like, okay.
Right.
Very, very...
Microaggressions or aggressions?
Exactly what I was going to say, microaggressions.
Yeah, right.
And you can see people creating some judgment because they're doing a lot of math. Like, people will look at him and then scan us and try to figure it out. It's just interesting.
Yeah, and it's almost like in nature... you notice things that, like, they say...
I'm checking your camera now. It's still going.
It's good?
Yeah, make sure. See, I'm making sure yours is good, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still going. The red dot, right?
I look good, right? Would you consider me...
No.
handsome or cute?
Cutesome.
Cute.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to be. Cutesome, because you still have, like, a youthful energy about you.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I think how you talk about your family and how you regard your wife and everything makes you handsome.
Yeah.
And the way you carry yourself. I was just talking about this before, like, I don't give out that energy, I don't think I do, to allow in comments that are comments I have to deal with as a woman. I've never really had too much of that in my career. But that being said, you're never that type of person. You never remind me that I'm a woman. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's nice.
In a negative way.
So I put out no sexual energy is what you're saying.
No, yes and no. Like, it's, you don't remind me that I could be an object.
Right.
Because yesterday I had an appointment. I'll just say that because I don't want to add any names or anything. And it's such a cliche thing to say. Maybe it's because I've matured. I don't know, but I'm in this appointment where it's a physical appointment, and I could feel an effect in my throat. Like I said, I felt that in my throat as, like, is that normal? And the doctor said, that's what she said. And I'm like...
Shut up. No, that's not true.
Yes.
No,
that's
not true.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Isn't that insane?
What?
And I just kind of... I laughed before he said that because of the sensation.
Yeah.
Because it was such a strange sensation. And he said it twice. He whispered it once and then said it again.
He whispered it?
To whisper, that's what she said.
Whoa! God damn! Is this a doctor you've seen before?
No comment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a doctor I won't see again.
Well, hopefully you don't get pregnant again.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But then I would have some leverage.
Yeah.
Then I would have some leverage.
Yeah.
I see what these basketball girlfriends and wives do.
God.
And that's a retirement plan.
Yeah.
A baby's a retirement plan in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
So I only have about a year or so to, like, catch in on that.
You don't think you'll be able to get pregnant after that?
I don't know if it's the healthiest. Like, I know that there's, like, a 67-year-old woman in the Guinness Book of World Records who had a kid. I think that was the oldest, maybe even older. I don't know that I want to do that.
I think it was also the record for the scaliest baby. He was covered in scales.
What?
Yeah, and he had no lung capacity. He was like an amphibian.
She gave birth to a fish?
No, I'm just saying at that age, can you imagine what would come out of you? Can you imagine?
I thought you were serious. I was going to Google.
Keep waiting for the hair to grow. He's like 13. He looks like Charlie Brown.
He's a fish who just comes out smoking a cigar. Like, what are you thinking? I was ready to die in there.
That's what she said.
Yeah, so that was...
Oh, that is really creepy. Wow.
It's so
Will you go
creepy.
see this doctor again?
No, because I don't...
What comedian made you feel like that?
See, I can't really recall one because I don't... Not comedians, managers of clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm not excusing it, but it goes with the territory.
Right.
That's why it's a rough...
I worked with Sarah Silverman when we were starting out.
Yeah.
We kind of started out together, and we went up to Connecticut to do this gig, and it was a mob joint. It was called Joker's Wild.
Oh, I remember hearing about Joker's Wild.
Joker's Wild was fucking...
And rowdy.
You were lucky to get paid.
Yes.
You were treated like shit.
I've heard stories. Was this a Roger Paul gig?
I think it was, actually, yeah.
It was, too.
And we walk in, me and Sarah walk in, and he calls us, and we're like, maybe 26 at this point, and I'm 26, she's probably, I think she's 5 years younger than me, so maybe I'm 27, she's 22. And we walk in, and the club owner, like, is in a booth with a couple of the douchebags, cigars, calls us over, and he looks at Sarah and he goes, "Turn around." And she just looks at him, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "Turn around." And she just walked away. And they started laughing. And she was on the fucking show. Yeah.
It is innumerable. Is it a word? Innumerable?
I think it's a word, but not in this sentence. It doesn't belong. It's unwelcome in this sentence.
Well, I was going to say there's an innumerable amount of times that a woman gets treated like that.
Yeah, right.
And it feels, and I think you kind of know, I'm not a victim. I don't feel like a victim, but it's interesting to be 40 and feel more mature and look at it through a different lens.
Yeah.
You know, because you have like a level of acceptance and tolerability. Is that a word?
Tolerance, thank
you. When you're younger.
Yeah.
Of that.
Right.
And now I think my fuse is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, I can see that. Because when you're young, you're still seeing the patterns. Yes. You haven't learned the patterns yet. And then once they become clear, you see that That's What She Said is no longer like a fun thing, that there's actually maybe something behind it. Yeah, you're like, okay, no, she didn't say it. Right. No one said it. You whispered it. That's what he whispered. In The Office, there was a funny scene where Steve Carell, he comes in and he's been taught, his girlfriend is his boss, right?
Yeah.
So she says to him, pulls him inside the office and goes, you can't talk the way you talk anymore. Like, human resources has gotten 12 complaints about you. You got to cut the bullshit. So they have a little conference and he says to everybody, he goes, all right, so I'm not going to make jokes with you guys anymore. I'm going to keep it on the level. I'm going to stop being inappropriate. And that's from now on. And so Jim goes, well, it's felt really good with you up until now. And then you see Steve Carell go like this. And he goes, I think it's really big of you. And he keeps teasing him. And then finally he goes, that's what she said! And the boss calls him right into the office. Yeah, she's like, get in here.
Some people just can't help themselves.
Yeah.
But in any medical setting, it's creepy.
Yeah, well, let's get back to the tattoos. Have you ever gotten a tattoo where it was in an awkward place where you felt like you didn't want the tattoo artist touching you?
All of them, for the most part. I mean, except for the ones I've had done by women. But yeah, there's, just a tatted man who's sweaty and leaning on you for hours. It's a very oddly intimate experience.
I've got a tattoo.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it? I imagine it's one of these guys.
It's not far off. It's actually a symbol of Ireland, so I should show it when I'm there. But it's the Irish harp.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I got it the same day. Me, my wife, my son, and my daughter all got the same tattoo.
That's cute. Yeah. A family tattoo.
Yeah, we got a family tattoo.
That's real adorable.
But the harp represents how the British oppressed us for 800 years, and they obliterated our language, our traditions, our music, our religion. And there was in traditional Irish music, you use a harp, and if they found you with a harp, they killed you.
Damn.
So they used to hide harps in basements in farmhouses, and they would come together and they would have sessions in defiance of the British law.
That's intense. It's also a very gentle instrument to do out of a rebellion. It's like, fuck these guys! And flutes! It's harps and flutes! It's like the most gentle musical instrument
that's why the badasses had the bagpipes. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah.
How would you even get a harp downstairs? They're massive. It's a huge instrument.
Irish guys are pretty strong.
Yeah, they're also very resourceful.
Yes.
I think that the people who struggle the most are the most innovative.
Yes.
So are you from Ireland?
No, my 4 grandparents are all from Ireland.
Oh, wow.
But I've been over there a bunch.
Yeah, I know that much. And I also know, side note, that Dom Irrera goes a lot.
He does. He does the Kilkenny Festival every year.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to... Is it... What time of year is it?
I'm not sure, but I know he's in Montreal right now at the Montreal Festival because Russell Peters brought him on his gala show. And, he kind of finally admitted that he has Parkinson's disease.
I read that article, and I always had wondered.
Yeah. His hands have been shaking for like a year.
Yeah, his hands have been shaking for years, and it's gotten progressively worse. Yeah. And that's got to be really heavy for him to deal with because he loves stand-up so much.
And he gets on stage and he shakes and he has a hard time walking, has a hard time getting the mic out of the stand, and then fucking nails it. Like, doesn't miss a beat in his stand-up.
I know. It is pretty... It's interesting to watch. I saw him at the Comedy Store walking to the mic, and I was thinking, oh dear. and then he just rips the audience apart.
Right.
And you're like, is this a put on?
Yeah, well, it's so great because the audience, they're just pulling for him from the gate because, like you said, there's that. I mean, comedy is anxiety that's relieved by laughter.
Right.
And when somebody walks out, it's why fat comedians right out of the gate have such an advantage. You walk out, you take the mic out of the mic stand, you move the mic stand to the side. Let me get this out of the way so you can see me. Oh, it relieves the tension that this person is overweight and they're going to stand in front of you. You ever see a handicapped person? Or what's the correct phrase for handicapped?
I don't have time to look at those.
That's why do they put their parking spots right in front of the store where you have to look at them when you're walking in?
My mom, I can say this about her because she's dead now. She dated a man who was handicapped in many ways. He was a handicapped man, and he had one of the
placards.
One of the things for the mirror, and she broke up with him, but kept that sticker.
No, she didn't.
She sure did.
Good
she got into the grocery store. She got the good spots.
Good for
She's like, this is the least I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
And I used to take it too. I'd borrow it. That's horrible. Allegedly.
No, my friend has it. He goes to concerts and he parks up front. It's pretty
That's
sweet.
where it's useful.
Yeah.
It's like a VIP parking pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was what was his handicap?
An inflated ego and a broken hip. He had two stories. One of them were reoccurring, and one of them was about how he beat up a bear.
No shit.
He talked about beating up a bear, and
before he hurt his hip.
But yes, before he hurt his hip. He had a horrible hip. Like, he had to swing his leg around.
Wait, so
he was like a pirate.
Where did he come in contact with a bear?
I guess back in his day, when there were circuses,
Oh.
they would have ring fights.
No way! No
There's
way!
a video of it. He got into the ring and boxed a bear.
Damn, no wonder your mother was into him. He probably made love like an animal.
I explained a lot of the bruises.
Damn.
No, he never hit her. He never hit her. No. I would have hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was just a hot mess.
Yeah.
But it was an ongoing, hilarious situation with her and him. Because he had, like, good qualities, but he was so tough. Like, so much ego and bravado. Uh-huh. Except for when he got a flu or a cold.
Yeah.
And there's this one day when he just was, like, kind of shuffling around. He's like, oh, I'm bad. I'm in a bad way. And my mom's like, oh, it's not, you're not doing well. He goes, no, I'm weaker than a kitten. And it took her and I out. She's like, and for the, like, months, we'd be like, God, I'm weaker than a kitten.
She should have bought him a little tray of milk.
I know.
Yeah.
And warmed the milk up for him, put it on the floor. It just was like this phrase that we used forever. It was so funny. I'm like, how's he today? She's like, oh, he's weaker than a kitten.
Oh, God.
Just this big man who beat up a bear who's weaker than a kitten. It was a fun...
so she's dead. Your dad's dead.
Yeah, everybody dead.
So what are you going to do for Christmas?
I go to my sister's house. Luckily, she has a husband who has a family from before, so everyone gets together.
Is that Syracuse?
Yep. It's Syracuse in many ways.
Love Syracuse.
I do too. You know, a lot of people like to talk trash about it, but...
Manlius.
Yes.
I dated a girl in Manlius. I used to go up there sometimes.
Did she have money?
She was, yeah. She had money.
Yeah, that's a affluent area.
Yeah.
We grew up in the city. Not so affluent. Middle class.
Middle class?
Yeah.
What'd your dad do for work?
He had 3 jobs. He was a inspector of a home. So if you bought a home...
So he got paid off.
He went in...
Do you think he got paid off?
Who knows? No comment. I'm sure there's money in the walls. We haven't tore the house down yet, so we'll let you know. Okay. I'll give you a couple bills.
Yeah, let me wet my beak.
He was a housing inspector, and then he also tended bar.
Oh, so he had a lot of cash. There was a lot of cash coming into...
Yeah.
Was he like a wad of cash in the pocket guy?
He was definitely a cash guy.
Yeah.
And then he also did a little bit of real estate, but I think he only sold like one used boat.
That's not real estate.
Emily and I were like, what real estate? What has he sold? We don't understand this. It all feels shady.
A boat.
Yeah.
I know a guy with a boat. Wait, so when he bartended, did he ever have to break up fights? Did he ever come home with a black eye or anything?
No, it wasn't like that at all. He would bring me once in a while. Uh-huh. And it was this place called Twin Trees 2. And this guy, Don owned it. I forget his last name, another Guinea. And I called him Uncle Don. And Twin Trees, the original, was just down the street. So my dad would tend bar at this place, and I just remember him like making me like Shirley Temples and sitting at the bar and it being very dark.
Nice.
A row of grown men sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was only like a couple times that I went there, but I have a vivid memory of that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. But he worked a lot. My mom was, she was a teaching assistant for a while. And then she got a job as a union representative for the Syracuse City School District.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, she had a real legit job.
Wow.
With a pension and
so
all
you
that.
had 2 incomes, pensions.
Yes, very hardworking parents. But my mom also stayed at home until I was like 8. So I felt like I had somewhat of a normal structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when your dad got sick with the Alzheimer's, was there enough money to get a home care worker and all that?
You know, that's the thing about the Alzheimer's is it's one of the most expensive diseases.
Yeah.
So is Parkinson's.
Right.
Because it's not like there's no coverage for that care.
No kidding.
No. And that's why it's so
just
expensive.
Drains your
out
savings.
of pocket. Most people go broke. Most people have to file for bankruptcy. There's an amazing foundation that Seth Rogen and his wife Laura Rogen have. It's called Hilarity for Charity, and they specialize in raising money for people who end up having to become caregivers.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they're doing amazing work. We just did CareCon together a few months ago. There was like a panel of us. You know Chris Garcia?
Sure.
Yeah, he was on it. Howie Mandel and Nicole Byer and a couple other people.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did like this virtual stand-up show about Alzheimer's, and Seth was a part of it and everything. But
so one thing that I learned was there's a thing called putting, like, because my mom's 81 and she's starting to mentally, she's doing good, but who knows what's going to happen. But you can do a thing where you put their money in trust and their real estate in trust.
Yes.
And then after 5 years, there's a 5-year look back, then they'll take the money from Medicaid instead of from their, like, you don't lose your home.
Right. If you know that, that's like one of the most important things for people to understand. And the more important than that is for people of your age to set up their will, their power of attorney, all of that stuff now, so that hopefully this doesn't happen to you. You seem pretty sharp, and I don't know what your family history is. You might have, you might be wandering around with your underwear on one day. That's probably going to be tomorrow.
Well, look, Annie, I don't think that taking shots at me.
But that's like the most important thing for parents to do, because it gets so costly for the kids, and
it's crazy. So did he go broke?
Luckily my sister was in a position to care for him for the first month, but it got so aggressive
really fast
that we had to put him in a home.
Yeah.
But it would have cost us $30,000 a month minimum.
So who paid it?
My sister.
Oh, she paid it.
Yeah.
She's got money.
Mm-hmm. She took care of it. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I just started like shaking and drooling and trying to get some, but it didn't work.
Pass the salt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started calling her Nancy, and
right.
she would not give me any money. And I think that's rude.
No.
It shows where her commitment fails to.
Well, maybe you're not committing enough. Maybe you have to show up to the airport in a wheelchair and really go for it.
I should have taken a better acting class.
Yeah.
To prepare myself to get some money from her.
So let's talk about the Venice 3. We don't have all day because you have an appointment, and we got to get through a lot very fast.
But you also wanted to talk about. Wait, there was one other thing you brought up in the beginning.
Well, we brought up. Well, number one, there's the tattoo removal.
Right, and the tattoo show, which is different than the.
But your show involves people getting tattoos removed, right?
Getting them redone. It's called tattoo redo.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just getting mine undone.
Will there be any mark of where the tattoo used to be?
Very faint. Like probably hard to see to the eye.
But I like your tattoos. I don't think they're too much.
Do I want to be 60 with this?
There's going to be a lot of other 60-year-olds with it. You think of 60-year-olds now.
You're not wrong.
Right.
You're not wrong. But do I want to be that?
Is it expensive?
Yes. But luckily this company has been so generous to do it for me. Yeah, it's called Removery.
You know them from your show.
They know me. The guy who's one of the main, like, kind of like a manager of the company. Yeah. Who's actually has a really successful TikTok account through Removery, because a lot of the guys who are or were like, I'm not going to blow up anybody's spot, but former white supremacists go and get their swastikas removed. And that's like a heavy shift that somebody has
I guess if you can't remove the swastika, you can make it into a box and pretend it was a tic-tac-toe game.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
You could like even maybe just add a bunch of squares around it and then make it look like some sort of trippy magic eye.
Yeah.
And then you pull back and Hitler's face pops out at you. And you're like, oh, it's still the same.
Yes.
You're
Yeah, you're just you're a puzzle now. You're a racist puzzle.
No, but Dustin from Removery has been very generous. He's actually from near where I'm from. He's from Buffalo.
So he's going to take care of it.
Yeah, they've been taking care of me.
You know what the best thing about being a comedian is all the swag bags,
The perks.
the free gifts,
People are so generous.
the trips.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I mean, especially when you have a podcast, because you're listening.
Yeah.
You say like I say shit all like I said. Yeah, my dad. I play a lot of golf, and my dad died like 30 years ago, and the only thing I inherited was his golf clubs. So they're really old, heavy golf clubs. But
Right.
out of like the nostalgia, I still use them.
Yeah.
So I was saying, last month was his 30th anniversary. And I said, I think it might be time to move on from these golf clubs.
Oh my
friends give me
gosh.
so much shit. So one of the listeners writes in and he goes, hey, I work for TaylorMade, which is the best golf clubs. He's like, I can get you 60% off any golf clubs you want. So I got a whole new set.
Why did he give them to you for free? His dad's dead. Have you no sympathy? You still made him pay?
And he made me give him my dad's clubs.
No.
No.
You're a good actor. Because I thought that really was a situation.
I also went to Malibu this past weekend. My friend's father is a big studio executive, and he's got a mansion on the sand in Malibu. And we spent 2.5 days. And, this weekend was like fucking 80 degrees.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Did you guys go swimming?
Oh, I swam 4 times a day in the ocean.
You're not scared of, like, the critters?
No. Well, there's stingrays, so I shuffle my feet when I walk. If you shuffle your feet, they don't bite as much.
Scoot them away. They
Yeah.
don't bite as much.
They still do bite if you shuffle, but not as much.
But you're not afraid of, like, any of the potential scary things that could come up and just bite?
Like sharks?
Yeah, or, like, whatever critters. There's that one with the lamp. That guy with the teeth and the lamp. You ever see that sucker?
No.
I think he stays down.
I think that's in the deep.
Yeah, but who knows? What if he wants to get sun one day? How do we know?
He might want to go to Malibu.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go on
Jonah
vacation?
Hill. Yeah.
Where do they go on vacation?
Yeah. Dude, I saw Jonah Hill.
He's like, bro, I just went to the surface and Brad Pitt was there with a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic.
And he was there at night, but thank God I had this light so I could see him.
I'm such a cliche. I'm so afraid of the ocean.
Wow.
Yeah, it freaks me out.
Damn. So did you go to the beach in Italy?
I did.
Yeah.
But I stayed in like the little beach. Like they have like a roped off area. It's so freaking
I know
beautiful.
Italian beaches, and they have all the chairs lined
all
up
the
for you. They have
chairs,
waiters that come out.
The striped blankets.
Yep.
And you get the food. That's one thing we were talking about earlier. I ate pizza, cheese, and drank wine and ate bread every day.
Yeah.
And I felt fine.
Yep.
I slept fine.
Mm-hmm.
I came back, I wasn't bloated.
Right.
I didn't have any sort of like physiological effect from eating that every single day.
Right.
So there's
I should mention for the viewer, because you don't know this obviously, but she's farted several times during the show.
That's not true. That was his stomach. That was his own bowels. I don't fart, I'm a lady.
Let's say right now, we've only got 15 minutes left in the podcast. The first person to fart out loud gets $10 from the other person.
That's it?
$20 from the other person.
That's a cheap deal.
You're so Italian. Everything's got to be big money.
It does.
I know you found a lot of your dad's wads of cash hidden underneath the hassock.
You're so Italian. Wait, can we talk about the fact that I have an LA hat on and I'm not like an LA fan?
What are you, the comic that wears something and then goes, hey, can we talk about that I got this hat on my head?
No, because
You put it there.
You mentioned LA before, and I thought about the fact that people might think that I don't, is this a sports team? I'm not even trying to be
the
really,
Dodgers.
Okay, I really am not trying to be like dumb. So I just bought it because I like the way it fits. It's a good walking hat.
It's a good hat.
But then on my way here, I was thinking, oh, people are going to think like I'm a sports fan. I'm not a sports fan. Please get me box tickets. I love the Dodgers. But I just thought, like, I don't know that I necessarily support the city so much.
You don't support here, Los Angeles?
Well,
it's done so much for you?
It has done a lot. Like, it definitely has supported my career. But lately, it feels very much like Game Theft Auto. Don't you feel that? We're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm from New York. I've been used to homeless people and crime my whole life. Little dirt makes me feel at home.
Yeah, it ain't living if it ain't messy.
No, I like to, you know where to walk. You know how to not look at people in the eye. You know how to hold yourself in a way that you don't look vulnerable. You know, that's part of the fun of life.
I guess you're right.
Yeah, it keeps me on my edge a little bit.
I just want to be able to, like, steal a car, crash into a CVS, take all the tequila, and really live out the Game Theft Auto life.
Yes.
Because you have to admit, it is like Game Theft Auto.
Yeah, it definitely makes you feel like if somebody cut me off, I have the right to get out and punch his window.
Well, there is a level of, like, this energy. It feels like the blob from Ghostbusters. Do you remember the orange goo?
Yes, of course.
And every time, like, anger just fed it and it just gave birth to the Marshmallow Man. That feels like LA's energy.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the only thing where it's not that I don't support it, I just feel like it's a little on edge.
It's a little on edge, but, you know, California always comes back and recovers. And they're actually making some progress with homelessness right now.
Like what?
Well, the problem is... Well, they've done a lot of short-term housing, and they've done a lot of placing people in with mental help and with substance abuse programs. They used to do a thing where you couldn't get housing unless you were sober.
Yes,
and then they realized you can't get sober on the street. First, you need a place to live so you can have a stable life. Then you can start going to meetings.
You want to get in
counseling.
His house? No, you gotta go back to your couch near the trash can.
Right.
With your friend who's a rat and get sober.
And really think about your life.
Think about your life. And think about how you need to turn it around.
Yeah, right. So they changed that, and it had a profound change in people starting to get sober. Unfortunately, the better the programs get, the more it attracts homeless people because they talk. You know how they always get their newspapers.
There's a heartbeat.
The homeless newspapers.
And there should be a homeless press.
There is a homeless press.
Are you for real?
Oh, yeah. Many cities have a homeless newspaper.
Who writes it?
Homeless people.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. These are people who at one point were loved, had a family, had a skill, had a job.
College,
These are people who any one of us could go.
That's right.
In that direction.
Right.
And to just discard them is so horrible.
It's so horrible, and it's always the people that call themselves Christians. Jesus Christ used to wash the feet of the homeless.
Yeah.
Now you don't even look at them.
And then
you walk
make
around
women take
them.
shots of the water. Jesus was definitely a chauvinist.
Shots of the dirty water.
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
just
feet?
kidding. That's my Old Testament. Dirty feet water from Jesus. No, but you're right. There's always that, like, really hypocritical energy around, like, people who are super Christian or born again Christians. Not all of them, but there definitely is an energy.
There's an energy about you should be able to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. That wasn't Jesus' energy.
No,
it was that you treat how you treat the weakest among us. What's the phrase? Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, that you do unto me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh, man, people used to they probably had such better, like, busting ball sessions. Can you imagine speaking like that?
Yeah.
To one another, and that was
saying thou and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do unto you as you do unto me.
Let's do the rest of the podcast in biblical English.
Thy, thous, thee, they, them.
How did you just conjugate? You conjugated as Jesus would.
That's a good point. How would they conjugate old biblical pronunciation?
And was there slang?
What was the slang?
Instead of calling somebody thou, you call them tau.
Right, what was it?
Yeah.
It was just so much more poetic.
It was. Well, the Irish, I'm going to Ireland tomorrow. Have you been to Ireland?
The way they speak? No, I have not.
They have such rich vocabularies. They use 5 words for every word we use.
Really?
And they have phrases, and they have jokes, and they ball bust like crazy. I mean, the thing about Ireland attracts me is the people. Just
so clever.
Sitting in a pub, talking to a guy.
Yeah.
When you walk down the street, you overhear two old ladies, there's a little drizzle coming down, they go, a soft day, thank God. Soft day, thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
It is a very endearing
And they don't say,
culture.
how are you? They say, what about you, Greg?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It is very, very endearing.
Yeah.
I think I just watched a show. I don't know if it was Ireland. I feel like it was called Bad Sisters. Have you heard of it?
Yes, it was.
So good.
Great. Yeah, that was Irish. They were Irish women. They're actually going to be in Galway, which is the part we're going to.
Oh, that was so well done.
Fucking slipped under the radar. It should have been
right
like one of the
under.
biggest shows.
It was so clever and
The acting
was
insane.
amazing. But I love when there's a cast like that where you can get lost because you don't know about their personal life.
Well, you know the Black Sheep sister. You know who she is?
No.
Bono's daughter.
What?
Yep.
Oh, I can see it now.
Yep.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
That's a great show. Everyone should go watch it.
And, you know, people talk about Nepo babies. She's the strongest part of the show.
She really is.
Stands out.
She sure does, and she's very subtle.
Yeah.
Her acting is very subtle,
Yeah.
but it was a great story.
Right. Anyway, let's get to the Venice 3 before you have to go.
Where are we? Where is everybody?
Well,
is Annie too famous now?
It's all of us. You know, the Venice 3 is me, you, and Annie Letterman, and we get together.
Lederman.
It's Letterman.
I know it is, but I call her Lederman.
I called her Lederman on stage 3 times, and she spent 5 minutes of rack shitting on me after I did it each time.
Worth it.
Yeah. So the 3 of us have started a gang. It's a street gang.
It is a street gang. We eat avocado toast.
At a fancy place in Venice Beach.
With non-dairy creamer.
Yes, and we look at the beautiful people. It's always like a guy in 3/4 length pants and pork chop mutton sideburns typing on a laptop. He's got the next great screenplay on his laptop.
Everyone's working on a screenplay.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a virtual meeting.
Yes.
There's at least 7 emotional support dogs and 1 prairie dog in a suit coat and briefcase who's leading a meeting for his startup company.
Yes.
For hamster suppositories.
You know, it's a niche market, but if you think about it, no one else is doing it.
No one else is doing it.
Yeah.
Prairie dog suppositories.
Yeah.
Not hamster. Sorry, it's a wrong.
Prairie dog.
Prairie dog suppositories. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but it is a very LA spot.
It's an LA spot, and we sit there and we talk shit for hours.
We talk shop and shit.
Talk shop and shit. But it's hard coordinating 3 stand-up comedian schedules.
And we're all in Venice.
We're all in Venice, so we started the Venice 3. And there's a gentleman in Venice named Eric Griffin who's looking to get into Venice 3.
Oh,
doors closed.
The door's closed.
Yeah.
He's we are not having another opening until one of us dies.
Blood in, blood out.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, who does he think he is?
Eric Griffin.
Who?
I don't know.
He's not in the Venice 3. Did he really say that?
He can be in the Mar Vista 1 as far as I'm concerned.
Is he in Mar Vista?
No, he's on the edge of Venice and Mar Vista. People in Mar Vista love to say they live in Venice.
By the way, everyone in Venice is on the edge of something.
Right.
It's just the energy.
Yeah.
I'm on edge all day, every day.
Yeah.
I came out of my house and there was a full couch, very large couch, and a man in a definite, like, a meth nap.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Right in front of my house.
Yeah.
And I just thought how peaceful he looked.
Right.
It looks very peaceful, that drug.
I remember we had a couch and we arranged for pickup. You know, we called the city and they said, you know, you leave it out in the alley by the garbage cans. So we put it out the night before, and the next morning I got up to walk the dog and there was a guy fucking sleeping on it. And I was like, dude, they're picking it. You better get off of there.
I wonder if they don't pick it up if somebody's sleeping on it.
I know.
I feel like they don't, because it seems like all the couches are near trash cans.
Yeah.
And the garbage manager's like, well, this one's couch surfing.
Yeah.
So we can't pick it up now.
Right. But the homeless problem, if there's furniture outside and it's claimed,
yes,
it's like squatting.
It is like squatting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's an issue like it is here. I feel like squatting is a big issue here because of the amount of homeless people. Or am I wrong?
I think there is squatting. I mean, you walk down certain neighborhoods, fancy neighborhoods, and there's nobody there all the time, and you realize it's like a house that some Russian oligarch bought,
Right.
and he's just laundering money. You go to Manhattan, they say that like a third of the high rise in Manhattan are completely empty.
Well, maybe we should send our homeless
That's right.
to live the high life.
All right, it's time for Fastballs with Fitz.
Oh gosh.
They come fast, they come furious. You got to answer immediately
Okay.
and honestly.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Do I have to answer fast, or just
No.
right away?
Just honestly.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I mean, don't put pressure on yourself. Okay, let's see. What else did I want to get down? Here we go. Okay, there's two types of people in the world. Go.
The type that when they come into a room, they make it better. The type that when they come into the room, they make it worse.
I like that. That's good.
It's a Buddhist proverb.
Really?
Yeah. There's a third part to it, but I had to take that out.
Have you ever not finished a set on stage?
Oh, that's a great question. I just thought about that like a few days ago because I had anxiety about performing.
Do you get anxiety still?
Yeah, but
I do.
good anxiety,
I
yeah.
get it I
All
actually,
the time.
2 nights ago, I said to myself, let's do an experiment. Go on tonight and don't experience any anxiety. Have no fear and walk on feeling 100% accepted by the crowd.
Whoa.
And no matter how the set goes, don't ever experience a rise in your heart rate and I went on and I had like a really I had all new shit because Neil Brennan has a new material night at the West Side Comedy Theater.
Oh, that's right.
So have you ever done it?
No, but I've seen
do
signs.
You gotta do it.
Yep.
So
You gotta do it.
you gotta do it. And so I just had a really great set. And then I went on last night at the main room at the Comedy Store and I said, do it again. And I sucked my own dick for 15 minutes.
I
sucked.
the honesty.
Yeah.
I respect the vulnerability and the honesty. I've never not finished a set.
Yeah.
I've sat in the pocket and took the hit.
Yeah.
But I've had horrible sets.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I should have left.
But you
There's
always
been
stayed
so
on.
many nights I should have gotten off
Nobody
the stage.
ever charged the stage or threw anything or...
No. I mean, people have charged the stage a couple times.
Really?
People have thrown stuff.
When did they charge the stage?
I did the Ice House before, when it was the Ice House.
In Pasadena?
Yeah, a few years back. And
Very Latino crowd.
yeah, this woman, Letizia,
Yeah.
charged the stage. I have it on camera.
No way!
Yeah, but then in like a playful way, which I don't think is playful
okay.
at all.
That's not playful.
Yeah.
No.
You know, when a bull charges, it charges.
And you kick it.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And I kicked Letizia right in her feet.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm just kidding. I just kind of backed up, and then the crowd laughed. I'm like, is this funny?
Yeah.
I just got charged by this
Yeah.
hot, spicy Latina woman, but I made it work.
Yeah.
But she was a little drunk.
Okay.
You know, I just love like older women or even an older person who's just like alcohol fueled and they get cocky and they come at you.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like stumble.
Yeah,
There's something
yeah.
really
Right.
powerful about that.
Yes.
Like a confident day drinking bull.
Yeah, because it's the real them.
Yeah.
The alcohol brought out the person they wanted to be all the
You're
time.
gonna mess with me, I'm gonna come at you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what.
It's a weird Mexican accent.
That was really strange.
What is the hackiest bit you've ever done?
Probably my first set and maybe some of what I do now. I think the hackiest thing I've said, and I've been conscious of it to remove it from my language on stage, is, hey ladies, or like anybody, like just those general questions.
Yeah.
I think is so hacky.
Yeah, there's one female comic that's her entire act.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And it's so overdone. Anytime you sort of ask the audience anything,
Yeah.
it's hacky to me.
Yeah.
And also,
It's
dating
like
material.
a way of enlisting them to the premise instead of believing in the premise.
Yeah, and it takes away some of the magic of it.
Yeah.
And
Because it's not conversational then.
no, and you turn it into, you bring them out of the moment.
Yeah.
You create a different type of moment.
They should be coming to you. You should be drawing them to you, not going at them.
Yes.
And there's so much aggressive crowd work now that it fucks the audience up.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I think that's a crutch.
Yeah.
And I think it's overdone. I also think dating material's overdone.
Yes.
so I've moved on to animal dating material.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Like prairie dogs?
Prairie dogs, spider mating habits, birds.
Yeah. Do you think when you fuck a prairie dog, he looks around the whole time?
I think that his body part probably does that.
Yeah.
His ding dong probably comes out and takes a scope and then goes back in.
Yeah. Like a sprinkler head. Comes up, springs around, comes back down.
Yeah, I do think that they're scoping the area all the time.
Yeah.
They're never
dogs.
relaxed.
They're dogs.
They're just not a relaxed creature.
Yeah, right.
They're always worried. It's like, hey, maybe dig your hole a little deeper.
Yeah. Maybe don't go on a flat part of land where the crows can fly down and pick you up.
Right.
How about the woods?
Maybe go under an overpass.
Yes.
Have you thought about moving?
There's couches under there.
Yeah. Grab a couch, be a meth prairie dog.
All right, listen, if you want to see Jessimae Peluso, you're going to go to Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, which I just went to last week.
Am I in for like a rowdy crowd?
Oh, yeah. And they are conservative. They are very conservative.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a fun room. It's very intimate. Club owner's a fun guy.
I'm excited.
My deal was weird though. I showed up and I had a gig west of Pennsylvania on a Thursday night. Then I had Uncle Vinny's on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my itinerary that my agent sent me, and it goes like hotel allowance, not booked me a hotel.
No, you got to book your own hotel.
Yeah. And guess what?
You didn't.
I didn't.
You slept on the beach like a homeless person.
I almost did, because I had to drive 45 minutes away from the shore. Everything was booked.
Dang.
I was in Trenton, New Jersey, sleeping at night. So did you book your hotel yet?
I'm going to call the person on the way, because I have credit, because this is a makeup gig from coronavirus.
Oh, God.
I was going to call it coronavirus. Jeez, not by the government name. Not by what Cardi B is saying it as. I have credit. Okay. So I thought about that, because I saw that too. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, you better lock it down, because
I'm going to call today.
Yeah, okay.
August 18th and 19th.
And then September 14th through 16th, Plano, Texas, House of Comedy. October 5th through 7th, the House of Comedy in Vancouver.
Yeah.
October 13th, East Providence, Rhode Island, Comedy Connection. That's the 13th and 14th. Yes. October 26th, the City Winery in Philly. October 28th, the next night, the City Winery in New York City. Yep. Then the City Winery in Montgomery, New York. What the fuck is this?
Hudson Valley.
And then Phoenix, after that, La Jolla. Go to Jessimae Peluso, spelled JESSIMAE PELUSO.
Just Jessimae.com.
Okay, why didn't you fucking stop me?
Well, I let you spell it out because you spelled it correctly.
All right, so
it means large and hairy.
No, it doesn't.
Pel is the prefix for hair. Pel.
Really?
Yeah. And uso's many or large.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Come see my comedy.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you so much for coming on.
It was so good to see you.
Yeah, it's so great to see you. You're one of my favorite people.
You're one of my favorites too. Am I gonna suffer on stage in New Jersey?
No. They're fine. It's just you got to play their game.
Oh,
it's not one of those gigs where you're an entertainer more than an artist.
People have told me, they're like, you're gonna you better be prepared for New Jersey, for Point Pleasant. I'm like, what are you talking about? Is this gonna be like?
No, it's great.
A comedy obstacle course?
No, the club is really, really good. It's just that the people are. A woman had a beer can thrown at her head.
I feel like this is like a Lori Kilmartin bread roll.
She said something that somebody goes, oh, you must have voted for Biden. And I think she said yes. And then the can came flying at her head.
Oh, wow. So I'm going to get some good videos for social media.
Definitely record everything. All right. All right, goodbye. Go
Bye,
get
guys.
your tattoos taken off.
Hopefully you heard it okay.